Hello, thank you for tuning in. It's time for Heather and Kim's Culture and Coach Leadership Perspective. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Culture and Coach Leadership Perspective. I'm Dr. Kim Richardson, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Heather Peterson. Good to see y'all.
It's good to see everyone. Thank you for joining in with us. This is our opportunity to share with you information that we have both come across, and we wanted to share our leadership perspectives, Heather with culture and climate, and me with coaching, so that you can clip new learning to your leadership tool belt. This week, we are discussing EdWeek's article on toxic positivity. It was featured on EdWeek in January, and right at the beginning of the year, and there are a lot of great nuggets that we're going to lift up for you.
So when we think about this notion of toxic positivity, this really connects directly with climate, those environmental pieces, but then it boils and it seeps right down to that values and the culture piece also, Kim. And when I was reading this, all I could think of were comments that teachers and administrators have made during this really difficult time, all of us wanting to say, I'm fine, everything's fine, and trying to brush over where we might be emotionally, which can create this environment of people feeling like they're not being heard, or that it's okay, or that it's not okay to not be okay, if that makes sense. And so a lot of us are well-intended and we want to say, but look on the bright side, or it's going to be okay, we're going to get through this. But how that can leave people feeling, Kim, is you're not hearing me. You're not listening to me. Yeah. And what this reminded me of directly is Brene Brown's work on empathy, Kim. She talks about, to be empathetic, we have to put ourselves in a pretty vulnerable place. She talks about how so many of us default to wanting to put a silver lining, or she uses the word silver lining, around things because we're uncomfortable sitting in an uncomfortable space with someone else. So what I take away from this is when we're thinking about how we want to shape these environments, how we want to create a climate, it's one where we do want people to feel heard. And it's not about telling people how they should feel or what they are feeling. It's about truly listening to where they are, Kim.
I remember that video, and I remember she used a term to make sure that we avoid saying at least, and trying to usher those feelings away. And the one thing about this article that shocked me, Heather, well, first of all, the definition, and I apologize, I did not lead out with it. Toxic positivity is the papering over of legitimate feelings of anxiety, stress, or despair. So what was so startling was the information that was included in the article about the fact that doing this, that trying to tell everyone it's okay, pushing forward with the work, does not impact morale at all. It actually could do the reverse. So when we think about our coach space, the space that we want to be in with people to think and create and learn, Heather already highlighted that we have to make sure that we are present and vulnerable, but that we're also listening. We want to listen not just for the things and the content that people are saying, but for the emotion. So if someone sounds a certain way, if you're able to instinctively name a feeling that you think you hear if they haven't shared it, it's okay to go ahead and say, I think you're feeling so and so. Am I correct on that? And let them correct you. But be careful not to say, wow, you must be depressed and upset, because we don't want to put those feelings on someone if that's not what they're feeling. So the main thing that I want to highlight is to be able to create that safe space. We have to connect before the content in order to go on with coaching conversations and creating new plans or learning something new. We have to make the connection first. And what I love about what 6 seconds and the Plutnik feelings model has shown us is that we have to be able to realize that emotions are not negative. So Heather, people say those things and they associate it with negativity, but emotions always tell us something, and they are always there to help us. So as you're coaching someone or supporting someone, if you're able to hear those feelings and if they are able to highlight and name them, adds to your conversation. What is that emotion telling you about this situation? And also, how can it help you? Now, we want to be careful not to become mental health professionals because we're not, but we can certainly ask those questions.
And I think that's
So,
important, Kim, lifting that up for everybody to understand, especially when we think about the role of education and what we're also modeling for our students. I loved in the article how one teacher said, I love to reveal to my students that some days I'm having a bad day because it gives them permission to realize we don't always have perfect days. Just like we always encourage teachers, you can't promise kids it's going to be okay. So as leaders, we can't go around telling adults it's going to be okay. We can only guarantee them what they can count on with us. And what so many of our students and adults are looking for, again, is to be heard, Kim.
yeah. So, my takeaway today and my action call for you is if you're in a position of leadership, whether with a team, with a school, with an organization, what is it that you can do to acknowledge where people are and also appreciate them? I think one big thing we're doing is we're thanking people for the hard work they're doing, but it is okay to say, and it's really tough right now because we've never done this before. So that is one small thing I think we can all do is just be aware that toxic positivity exists. Are we adding to it? And then what can we do to help people realize it's okay. We're not perfect. It's not perfect, whatever the it is.
Absolutely. And it feeds right into our social emotional skills, Kim. Being self aware of where we are, and being self aware doesn't mean that you have to be okay all the time. What self management strategies might I want? And what awareness do I have of others' emotions and where they are?
Thank you, Heather. This was such a powerful article. Thank you to EdWeek. And also thank you to Brene Brown. Even though you weren't mentioned in the article, we definitely saw those connections. We hope that hearing our thoughts and hearing some of the things that we wanted to bring to your attention helps you drop some information into your leadership tool belt. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for doing this.